Hi, it's Romy. Welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is the reading for the sign of Capricorn for February 2020. So if you're Capricorn, Sun, Rising or Moon, it may well resonate for you. It is a general reading, but if you're enjoying my work and you'd like to support me further, you can go ahead and purchase the extended reading, and the link for that is in the description box below. You can also find me on Facebook, Instagram, and come see me over on my website, romywyser.com, to check out all of the services and the readings that I offer. Let's go ahead and see what's coming out in February for you, Capricorn. Opening your reading with two cards. The first is your guide card for February. From the Major Arcana, I've selected the Fool. The second is your gift card for the month ahead, and it is Wonders. So I'm working with the guide and the gift in intuitive readings, your 2020 soul journey and journey to love. You can find more details on my website if you are interested. But in the context of February, the Fool for me is a much needed burst of lightness for a sign that has arguably been through the toughest transit with so much of what has been going on in your sign, Capricorn. And even if you're not yet really feeling into that lightness, know that it's coming in on the horizon. It is a time when you are going to start feeling that you can move forward with more confidence about who you are and what you want. I think you've learned some incredibly tough lessons in these transits of late, and with so many planets still in your sign right now, you are continuing that journey, but now from a place of like completely wide-eyed, fresh and quite invigorated, you know. And I think, okay, for some of you, you might be thinking, wow, I really don't feel invigorated right now, Romy, but I'm sensing into the energy that's on its way to you. So I have this release of so much of the heaviness that you've been carrying with you for so long. And it's been difficult, right? That taskmaster of Saturn has really been pushing and provoking and cajoling and not letting up until you really understood what it was that needed to shift and how you needed to allow and honor the growth. So the Fool, embodying the energy of February for you, I love, because it's helping you to break the mold, and the mold is of your own making. It's allowing you to step into the new version of yourself. I think for many of you, it's also about like a simplification of your lifestyle. You know, I think there's this need to just want things to be different, to look different, to feel different, to be different. And what that means is that, you know, there's probably already been some tough choices that have been made. There's been major transformations taking place, and now you're starting to feel like you can become free of the restraint, and there's a swiftness of energy that I feel is on its way. Now, of course, as we move into February, we have Mercury retrograde, so that can often be like a slowing down. But I think that you're still using this time in the month of February to actually kind of galvanize and recalibrate and redirect yourself so that you're poised and ready for what comes next in this adventure. Your gift card of Wonders is so beautiful, because I think the universe is now inviting you to return to a place of real optimism about what comes next for you. And that might not have felt as readily accessible to you in recent weeks and months, Capricorn. But for me, February is absolutely a time in Aquarius season. We're in second house for you, so it's about a reevaluation of your sense of worthiness, about what you need to have around you materially to feel supported, to feel stable, to be able to take that leap of faith. But the wonder for me is about the invitation for you to really tap into like who you now are, and to be curious like a child, you know, to have that sense of expectancy of what beautiful surprises and blessings are set to emerge. And we need to move you into that mindset, that frame of mind. It's really important, because I think some of the adjustments and some of the incoming energies for you in February are about advancing you powerfully forward into a new pathway. You know, that's what the Fool is bringing in, but you have to be open and receptive to that. And so it might just take a little bit of adjustment for you to kind of find your feet, shall we say. You know, we have a beautiful full moon in Leo coming in on the 9th of February. That full moon has got a lovely trine to Mars, so it's very bold, it's very passionate, and it's very supportive, and it's in your 8th house. So I think it is, again, this sort of deeper transformational work that's taking place, but also this recognition of where you want to change. You know, the illumination has been profound for you, and I think that you're ready to feel that sense of lightness coming in and to take a risk. You know, I feel like some of you are almost with that analogy of like, I may as well go for broke now. I have nothing to lose because this is a completely new paradigm. It's a new pathway for me. I'm a different person, and so I'm going to explore that. So I love that we open up your main card reading with the King of Wands. Very entrepreneurial. He's got confidence, courage. He absolutely trusts his instincts. You know, he's all about, and again, you know, a fire sign, so linking into that Leo moon, but he's all about just saying, let's just go for it. Let's just try. We've got nothing to lose here. You know, the old ways are not going to work anymore. Everything has been deconstructed, cleared out. Perhaps for some of you, it felt quite ruthless in the way that it was handled. But I think for many, there's also this almost sense of relief that you're kind of free, or you are in the process of becoming free of some really restrictive, heavy circumstances. So I love the energy and the drive and the conviction that King of Wands is going to invite you to play with as you're in that retrograde season and you start to explore what life could look like for you moving forward. You know, he's a visionary, and I love that. You know, we're in Aquarius season, which is visionary. It's about doing things differently. It's about trying out new solutions. And you know, the Fool is ruled by Uranus, so we have that kind of slightly unexpected, slightly individual, unique, quirky. It's all of that kind of theme that's going to work well for you. Trying things that you've never done before. This is where you're going to start to see how you've changed, and you're going to start to see much faster advancements in your pathway. Six of Swords energy coming through, because again, it has been a rite of passage for you, you know. Obviously, we still have Jupiter in your sign, and on the 16th, Mars is moving into Capricorn as well, again giving that drive and energy to start to look at things from a more optimistic, open-minded perspective. Six of Swords is talking to me about you moving into slightly calmer, lighter energies that will be very supportive of you. You're ready to travel, you're ready to move forward, you're ready to take a journey and explore new lands. You know, there's new adventures. There's this sense of like almost you being hungry to experience a different kind of life at the moment. And I think that's set to open up for many of you. We have Mercury retrograde in Pisces from the 17th of the month, but it's going to be in shadow right from the beginning, and it's in Pisces until the 4th of March, and then it dips into Aquarius between the 4th and the 9th. So in Pisces, it's in your 3rd house, really challenging the way that you think, the way that you express and communicate. So of course, there's a reevaluation taking place around that is helping you. Okay, Tower energy, and you know, I don't want you to feel unsettled by this, because I think this is perfectly natural to have the embodiment of this energy to show you just how much your life has changed, just how much you have changed, just how much needed to be cleared out. And you know, when we talk about that transit of Mercury in Pisces, I think you are going to be taking some time to review what you've been through and really understand how much it's completely altered the trajectory of your life, and you know, is now affording you the opportunity to build some new foundations. I do think though we are moving away from this Tower energy. This is a time when you're absolutely like having to embrace and be open-minded that, you know, what needed to be torn down was wholly necessary. And actually it's in that complete clearing that you start to find those beautiful moments of illumination and wonder and expectancy and hope and renewal. You know, it's like new seeds being planted, and you're taking the experience with you. You know, with the Fool, with the Six of Swords, like you're carrying with you what has really changed you the knowledge and the wisdom, but you're releasing all the attachments, all the toxicity, all the heaviness. And that's a beautiful thing, you know. If there is a fire sign, a Leo, Sagittarius or Aries, perhaps there has been some distance, there has been some upset connected to that individual. I think that you are in a place of being quite protective of yourself, perhaps a little bit unsure about whether to invite them back in or afford them the opportunity to revisit a conversation with you. If that is the case, and certainly it might not be a fire sign, but it just could be somebody representative of that type of energy who's being quite bold, quite bolshy, quite even slightly cocky. I'm kind of getting that vibe coming through. I think again you're being quite protective and clear-minded about what you're going to tolerate, because this is a new you that we're working with now, right? A completely new you. I think that we're still set to bump up against one or two challenges through this month of February, only because, Capricorn, you are literally, it's like stepping into a completely different life for many of you, and it just feels like everything's the same but everything's different, and you're kind of almost having to learn again who you are and how you relate and how you communicate and what you want and what that means and kind of what this energy is telling you. And so there's a huge amount of sort of having to process and absorb and, you know, kind of make all these small adjustments continually through the month. But that can also be, I'm not going to say frustrating, but I just think kind of a little bit unsettling as you're sort of thinking, wow, like I really don't know how to be in this new energy. I'm not sure sort of where I fit, or, you know, if my vision or my plans really make sense to me anymore. And if they don't make sense, then where does that leave me? Well, actually it leaves you free and clear to consider a limitless possibility, Capricorn, is what I want to say. But yeah, it could just feel a little bit unnerving, I think, in part. But you're going to get a handle on it, because actually when you start to sense the real liberation of it, beautiful full energy at the center of your reading again, you're just again ready for the moving forward. You're ready to go your own way and to just have a sense of, I almost want to say, rebellion. So you could be rebelling against your old life. You could be rebelling against another person. You know, maybe you don't want to strong plans in place right now. It's more about just living in the moment and actually exercising your free will to say, I'm just going to take every day as it comes right now. I need to just feel carefree. I need to have that sense of like not being weighed down. And so other people might feel a little bit kind of like, how do I take my Capricorn right now? I'm not really sure kind of where they're coming from or what their vibe is saying at the moment. I don't think you need to worry about that, because absolutely this is a month of you getting to choose and direct your energy and focus toward the future and do what's right for you. I think some of you are ready to kind of almost make the debut. I know that might sound strange, but it's almost like having gone through all of this cycle of change. This is also a month where, you know, a lot of other signs are still struggling, but you are, even though you're kind of still calibrating, I think that, you know, you've had such a powerful awakening, Capricorn, that you're ready to be the one that steps up first. You've got that cardinal energy, that confidence to say, okay, you know, here's what I learned. This is how it changed me. This is how it humbled me. This is how it completely transformed everything I thought I knew about myself, because it was all in the first house of self-identity. And this is what it's left me with. And what has it left you with? A sense of openness, of a clear new beginning, the opportunity to reinvent yourself, to take a risk, to start to live again in a way that feels really exciting and refreshing for you. A time of complete stripping back and simplification of all the crap that doesn't matter, all the stuff that seemed important in the past and all of a sudden now is just kind of melted away. Six of Cups coming up, because I think you are going to be deep in that reflection. You are going to be moving through quite an emotive time with Mercury and Pisces. You know, it's dealing and taking us into that beautiful internal emotional landscape and saying, you know, how did we show up in those relationships in our life? You know, where did we connect into family members and people that mattered in our world? And you know, what do we think about that now? So that reevaluation is helping you to perhaps find some forgiveness, to find some release where you need it to. You may well have the time to kind of reconnect if there has been some sort of upset or kind of estrangement or emotional distance. So of course, retrograde bringing the opportunity to revisit or reconnect with people from the past. I see you feeling very you're open, but you're also guarded, is what I want to say, right? You're going to listen and you'll take the time to connect. But there's no kind of pulling the wool over your eyes. You know, oftentimes this card comes through to me and sort of says, oh, don't put the rose-tinted glasses on about the past. And I don't actually think there's any danger of that happening for you, because I think what you've been through, Capricorn, has stripped away any kind of sense of you know, wanting to be emotionally avoidant about anything. You've just not been given or afforded that because of the provocative and cajoling and pushing energies that have forced you to change and to look at things with absolute clarity, like in the cold, harsh light of day. So I'm not worried about that. But what I do see is that it affords you the opportunity to emotionally connect in terms of a compassion, you know, from a human to human perspective, you know, to say, you know, I understand, you know, what I've been through, what you've been through. It wasn't pretty, it wasn't easy, but actually now's the opportunity to become a better human being, to align, you know, into a more heart-led frequency, to come at this from a perspective of wanting to be better, wanting to do things that feel more in alignment. And you know, Eight of Pentacles, I think, just is talking about this need to now move forward and really direct your energies into those things that are being called towards you. So I see this period of you giving time to kind of relationships, but actually like wanting to just get on and focus on kind of I think for some of you rebuilding things, or just taking something to the next level. It's almost like now you're being given a bit of breathing space to reevaluate and then get back focused again. I think during that retrograde, even though, you know, we don't have this big sort of like necessarily like launching and kind of putting out to the world, but we definitely have a lot of work happening behind the scenes, is what I'm going to say. And actually you're getting quite a lot of solace in that, is what I want to say, Capricorn. I think some of you are going to be working incredibly hard through this month of February, but it serves you well, because I think as you're working, you're processing, and as you're doing that, you're clearing, and as you're deep in that sort of quiet contemplation with just getting on with the task at hand, there's these moments of beautiful illumination that are able to drop in, you know, that spirit are able to kind of give you in that almost meditative state while you're just focused on other things, that are helping to create this new vision. So there's a lot of inspired energy that I feel is flowing in towards you when you allow yourself to focus and sort of almost like take back control, take the reins back of where you might have had to kind of put things on hold because there was just so much other stuff that you were having to deal with in recent weeks. Okay, Three of Swords energy coming through, and I think, you know, it is the purification, you know. I actually feel this really healthily showcasing in this month of February for you, Capricorn, what has been cleaned out, what emotional wound, what challenge, what glass that has felt like it's been lodged deep within your heart space, you know, you've allowed to come up to the surface. It wasn't pretty, I think, for some of you. Perhaps it still isn't, you know, you might still be going through almost that sense of kind of grieving. And I think that what you're also going to be tuned into really powerfully through this month of February, because it's such a big adjustment month for the collective, is that mourning and grieving as we ascend into the new energetic frequency. And, you know, you are having to kind of, you know, it's almost like you're working away and then you have those healing tears coming down and you're like, okay, I don't really know why I'm crying, but I just need to let this go. And I'm just going to carry on and I feel all right, but oh, I need to cry some more. So it's that kind of energy that I'm getting with the Three of Swords. It's not this kind of heart laid open, ripped wide open. It's just more this kind of really deep cleansing, healing energy that's now coming in to wash away all of the debris that the Tower may well have served you on a platter in the last few weeks and months, Capricorn. So please allow that healing, cleansing energy to flow. Let the tears come if they need to. If that's the kind of vibe that you're in February, let it happen. Of course, you know, when we're in retrograde, there can be those echoes back to the past. So, you know, you may well be wanting to move forward, ready to move forward, and still feeling that sense of loss about what you're having to let go or give up, even though you know it's not good for you anymore, even though you know it doesn't actually even exist in the same way that, you know, it once did. So if you tried to return to it, it wouldn't even be there. I think work will be your solace though as you move forward. If it's not actual work, if you're not, you know, in a job or focused on a business, I think this is about the taking care of your self-care. You know, it's about the things that you're going to put in place, giving yourself a bit of routine and a bit of structure to support the processing and the adjustments and the movement forward. Yeah, Knight of Pentacles. It is. It's this, I love this for you. It kind of anchors in that nice earthy energy and reminds you that, you know, we're just going to keep moving forward. Everything is in a perpetual state of motion and everything is a cycle. And you've come through an incredibly difficult, challenging, you know, site. And maybe some of you have not felt that so heavy, you know, but it's unlikely that you can have come out of this unchanged, Capricorn. It's unlikely. But Knight of Pentacles for me is giving you a sense of that routine, that structure, that stability, that consistency that you need to just be able to kind of refocus and get on with sort of living your life and kind of putting the pieces back together in a way that's going to work for you. What I will say is that from a work perspective, King of Wands and Knight of Pentacles, beautiful partnership, collaboration here, because not only are you being given the ideas, the vision, the instinct, the nouns to be able to say, I think this is the direction that we need to go in, you're also being given the tools to actually implement and to do the work and to make it happen. So, you know, that's a very kind of Capricorn energy for me anyway. I think that you're not afraid of doing the hard work. And actually that's probably what that says to me at the bottom of the reading as well. You're not afraid. And you've had to learn that, right? To not be afraid of going deep, of doing the work, and that you're going to start to see the true reward and fruition of that, because the freedom and the liberation and the opportunity for a fresh new beginning is coming in for you, and that's a really beautiful thing. This could be an earth sign that we're dealing with, if it's not you, Capricorn, that there may be a revisiting to perhaps something that happened in the past that hasn't worked out or needed to change dramatically in order to come back on a much healthier vibrational energy, right? So could be another Capricorn, Virgo or Taurus that we're talking about here. If it is, and it's something that had caused like a kind of real seismic shift in your life, I want to say that progress can be made, but it's very slow and steady. You know, we need to come back on a completely different level. And so that means that, you know, we have to come back with a sense of hope and expectancy that that person has changed as much as we have changed, if you want to entertain that reconnection or that, you know, coming back together. I will say for me, it feels, from a love and relationship perspective, perhaps February is more about, you know, you directing that energy towards yourself and how you now need to move forward to figure out who you are before we kind of get into any heavy relationship conversations. So that you're not dipping back too much into, you know, like an old narrative. I just think you need to find your feet a little bit more. But I do think that there is going to be some really tender moments to connect with people through this month. And And if you kind of take that beautiful gift card coming through, I think it's going to show you how things can be different. So your oracle cards, heat coming through, and I think that this is the warmth that I feel that King of Wands is bringing in, you know, as we embody his energy. It's about the compassion, the desire, the ignition of you feeling like all of the things that I want for myself are possible. Limitless potential is what the Fool brings forward. A new perspective, a new horizon, and you know, these beautiful angel wings, because you're ready to spread your wings somewhere. I think the heat and the warmth is necessary to cultivate the new ideas and inspirations that are starting to flow to you. I think if you had to be cold or detached, or if you felt other people in your life have acted that way towards you, then February is set to soothe that and start to invite in a change and a shift of the energy. But the heat for me is about things heating up in a positive way. Everything's ramping up, everything's beginning again, everything is starting to look more favorable and optimistic as you consider what you now want for yourself and what you're going to do to make that happen. Lovely orange linking into your sacral chakra, and I think it's important that you are working with your energy centers and really clearing that out, your area for creativity, for, you know, the way that you invite in that sense of empowerment and even sexuality. You know, we're in Aquarius, we're in second house, so it is about your sense of worth. It's time to take action. New moon in Aries. See, this is what I feel. The heat, the movement is all gearing up as we move into that springtime, you know, which is absolutely a time when you're going to start to really see the merit of all of the hard work that you've put in. I think that Aries energy, that kind of warrior, instigator, cardinal energy is very complementary when you are very focused, and reminds you actually that you have to have passion for the work that you do. You have to have passion for the relationships that you want in your life. But a really nice invitation, I think, to move through February with a sense of wonderment and flow and the allowance of feeling in and sensing into what's changed, with a gearing up to that springtime. Capricorn, I'm going to go ahead and pull us some cards for the clarifying. If you would like to join me, you can find the link in the description box below. It's a way to support my work and channel. And we will just continue this narrative. So we've got Six of Swords coming through again with the King of Wands. And card of Judgment. There is so much release coming in. Very healing energies as well, I feel, for you this month, Capricorn. Nine of Cups coming in with that Six of Swords. Yeah, I think the journey that you're on, that you have taken, is really starting to deliver this beautiful emotional level of contentment about what matters in your life. Seven of Cups. As you simplify and purify the world. Lovely. Ruled by Saturn. Just talking about the completion of that Tower energy, yeah? It's really positive. I'm kind of glad it showed up for you, because I just think it does indicate the fact that we are now clearing that out. Page of Cups. Seven of Wands bringing in Seven of Pentacles. And the Nine of Pentacles. Gosh, lots of beautiful earth energies here. You're going to be investing your time, I think, behind the scenes really powerfully in February. Justice card coming in with a Fool. Yeah, it's a time of rebalancing. Karmic shift taking place in your world, Capricorn. Could be a Libra as well. Six of Cups coming up again. Interesting. Knight of Swords here. Could be a Gemini or another air sign that might be returning, or that person that you're having the conversation with. Nine of Wands coming in with Eight of Pentacles here. Ace of Cups. Moon energy with that Three of Swords, yeah. Deep in Pisces time, I think, is when so much of this cleansing, cathartic energy is coming in. Page of Pentacles with the Knight of Pentacles, lovely. Let's pull a couple more. Heat's bringing in Ten of Cups, yes. I think this is absolutely about the vision for the future and how things are starting to reveal themselves in that image of what things look like. Five of Wands with Aries, great. Okay, Capricorn, thank you so much for joining me. I hope this has given you some insight for the month ahead. I'm sending you bright blessings. If you've enjoyed, please do drop me a like and a comment. And if you're going to join me for the extended, I look forward to continuing with you shortly. Take good care. Bye for now.